Recording online? Cool. Hello. Hi, everybody. This is SoSU123. I'm a relatively high-level fighting game player. I've been playing this game since about 2018, and I'm here to go over my issues with this game and maybe some possible suggestions at the end, towards the end of the video. Not going to be edited very much. It's just more stream of consciousness. So let's just get into it. I might provide some examples depending how I feel, you know. But just enjoy the tunes, and hopefully the devs and people will hear this and share this and they'll listen, because the game cannot stay this way, please, for the love of God. So the first major thing I want to go over real quick is going to be mainly, let's just start with the defensive game. Okay, so they're pretty bad. Great ideas. I think they're great ideas. Executed poorly. The main one, I think, and it's degrees. They're not all as bad as equally, right? So let's start with the one that grinds my gears the most. We're gonna start with the rolls. Rolls are useless. They're just useless. The main reason is because on roll, you can just press the dash button, and the dash button will cover both directions regardless of which direction you roll. So this should be fairly easy to show. I don't have to do too much. So we have this set to forward rise and everything. Okay, set to do this. Oh, he's not hitting. Okay. Pretty much. I'm not holding a direction, I'm just pressing the button. I guess I'll put the display on. But as you can see there, doesn't matter what direction he goes into, I'm just pressing the dash button and he's gonna get caught. So rolls are essentially useless. They are. That's a problem, because in this game, where everything is so chaotic, you can get hit by any stray full screen button, full screen assist, full screen projectile, full screen lariat, whatever. You get hit, you get knocked down, and now you don't get to play anymore. I think, in general, I believe in my fighting game philosophy that neutral is the most important aspect of the game, and so the more you play of it, the better. And when your defensive mechanics don't allow people to, are intended to get people out of these situations and don't, I believe that is faulty. My solution simply is to just make the rolls go further so that the dashes can't catch it. So if they want to catch the roll, they have to actually read it, you know? Because if you get the hit, your reward should mainly be the damage that you get, right? And if you want continuous Oki, you have to make a read in order to get it. So if I hit you, and then I knock you down, and you get roll, I should have to read that. I shouldn't be able to just press two buttons and cover it and meet you anywhere on the screen. That's ridiculous. I think that's bad. And so my main solution is to just simply make the rolls go further. Like, make them have longer range. You know, maybe give them faster startup, but I don't even think that's necessary. Just give them more range so that this stops. This also invertly nerfs 2xko's burrito assist. Burrito OS, kebab OS, whatever we're calling it. That bullshit that we seeing all the time from this broken character. The main thing I think is broken about him, but we'll get into him in a second. I'll go over stuff I want to nerf with certain characters that I've noticed off the top of my head. We'll get to that later. But yeah, I think that's important. Next bit of mechanics, defensive mechanics. Push block sucks, specifically in the corner. It sucks mid-screen too, but it's really bad in the corner. It's almost useless in the corner. You just block anything, doesn't matter. The assist is still going to come out, especially with freestyle as the meta. The assist is still going to come out. You're still going to get caught. Even with double assist, sometimes they just press it again. You're still stuck. Then they tag because you put handshake tag in this game. So they just continue onwards or whatever. Yeah, no. Because, and I don't really have, to be fair, a solution for this for the most part, outside of letting push block push everything back. But I understand why maybe you don't want to do that, because it'll be really hard to open people up that way. But honestly, fuck it. I don't want to block Echo Assist from half screen when they play Ari Echo and do double assist, and I have to hold the Ari mix up that I can't get out of. I'm good on that. So maybe at least try it. This will go into my next suggestion. I would say to have like a separate like patch mode, kind of like how Skullgirls does it, where you can play the newer version as a test, and we can all test it if we want to try that out, and then you can play the different versions and stuff. You know, food for thought. Just to throw that out there. But yeah, I think that push block needs help, because it's a good idea. It's a great idea, but execution wise, it feels useless when it matters. It feels useless when it matters. Third issue, and the other defensive mechanic is retreating guard. Now I understand that you nerfed it because it was too good before, but my only issue is the weird inconsistency with doing the move. Retreating guard, for whatever reason, is good versus certain characters and terrible versus others. It's great versus Yasuo, Echo, Jinx, Ari, those types of characters, but it's ass versus like Vi, Warwick, Alawi, Braum, Darius. So it just feels like most of Blitzcrank as well. It just feels kind of useless to use most of the time. So it's extremely situational versus specifically certain characters, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't mind. I like, this is lower on the end here. Like, I'm not as concerned about it. It's whatever. But I still wanted to put it in the video just to acknowledge that that inconsistency is very frustrating. Speaking of, maybe just throwing this out there, and not a huge concern. Can we make Fury bufferable? Or maybe this might be a skill issue, but every other input in this game is very much bufferable, very easily, you know. But Fury is just not, and so it's so weird to be in Fury mode and wanting to cancel like that into dash, but it doesn't work because I have to wait longer than I have to compared to every other input in the game, and that's really annoying. But again, not as concerning. That's more, I can chalk it up to skill issue. It's just really annoying, you know? So I won't be too pressed about that. Next thing. I don't mind get up attack. I like it. Can we make level 3 so invul? Please? What, like, if they're strike invincible but I lose to throw, why not? Just make them throw invul. Make them fully invincible. It just feels kind of, it just feels kind of dumb. I'm sorry. It just, why not? Why can I be thrown out of my level 3? It costs 3 bars. Speaking of bars, we'll get to parry in a second, because I have issues with parry. But we'll get to that. But my main concern about that level 3, like I said, we're pretty much, I addressed it. Make it fully invincible. Don't know why it's not. Can't understand why it's not. It doesn't make any sense to me why it's not. Make it fully invincible. It costs 3 bars. Why should it not beat throws? It's like how DPs in Guilty Gear lose to throws. I cannot fathom why you would do that. It's already a high risk option. Why would you just make it worse to use? But I digress. Next on parry. It's terrible. It's terrible. Good thing the window is pretty generous to actually parry stuff, which is nice. But even with that, the risk reward for using parry is horrible. It's just horrible. Like, for example, if I parry an assist, what do I get? Plus frames. And even with unless you're Echo or Ari, you won't even be in range to actually punish them. I wonder if my recording's up. It is. You know what I'm saying? You're not even in range to do anything with the plus frames. So I have the great reaction time of that, but I don't get any punish. So I mean, it's still decent to do, but then it's like it's easy to fuck up because they can do that and handshake tag you. So, and that's safe for them. There's no reason to be scared of it. It's not even a deterrent for this option, and it's way harder to do. It's way harder to time this than to just press assist. Way harder. That's not right. So if you want to keep parry exactly the way it is, I need to be able to get an actual punish off that if I parry your assist. That's the only way that it's worth using. Because why else would I use it? There's no, like, I could do it here, or I can just jump back and try to avoid the assist or counter call my assist to avoid your assist. Because if I risk parry, look what happens. I lose a bar, and I lose a bar, by the way, a whole meter, and I'm in mega recovery frames. That's an insane risk reward option. And that's for parrying pretty much whatever. What's the point of parrying projectiles? It doesn't even really do anything. Because guess what? Parry isn't universal. So if like Caitlyn, there's Caitlyn and then they freestyle tag in Echo and then Caitlyn shoots her bullets and then Echo runs at you. You parry the bullets. Now what? Because he can just hit you with low because it's not a universal parry. So parry doesn't cover low. So I would have to get, so he could even run up and clip me out of my parry. So now I'm in an RPS situation at a disadvantage, pressing parry, which again, as we stated before, I lose a bar if I fuck up, or I get hit because of the recovery and I lose like half my life, if not just die off that interaction. So why would I parry though? It's just super risky for no reward. Like maybe, like, and again, because like it's because at best I get an RPS situation that's more even than anything else. So now what? It's not worth it. So parry is terrible. My suggestions are as follows, and you don't have to do all of them, but these are just some ideas to throw out there for this mechanic, right? First things first, do not make it cost a bar. Stop that immediately. You can make it so that you can't do that. So maybe if you want to avoid them spamming parry, you can make that not an option anymore. If you make the change that I just said, you make it that it doesn't cost anything. You can remove the parry spam ability, so that it's just like you still have the recovery and everything. That must change. All the things that else I recommended is optional. I would like to see them change a little bit, but this costing a bar has to go. It has to go. That is insane to me. That is insane to me that this costs so much for nothing, for almost nothing in most situations. Not for parrying assists and not for parrying projectiles, and it doesn't even cover both high, lows, and mids. It covers either highs and mids or lows, and you have to gamble. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane to me. It has to go. This should not. The one change, if you make any change to parry, make it not cost meter, and then remove the ability to just spam it. That's it. It has to go. It has to go. Other changes, other optional changes. Make it universal. Fuck this low parry. This isn't Tekken. Go away. Right? Like, just Make it universal. Make it universal as an option, and it's fine. Right? And, of course, this is adding on to removing the meter. Because it has to go. Remove the meter for sure. Just please remove that. Please remove it being able to, like cost bar. That's so insane to me. Alright. Other options. Let me punish assist when I parry you. Let me either get, at the very least, close enough to do actual block strings, or I actually get to do damage to your point character. And that doesn't have to go with the universal changes. If you really want to keep it costing a bar, you have to make the reward better. I don't even like I'm talking like if you throw out a projectile at me and I parry it, I should be able to do plus frames at you. Some crazy shit. Because this shit is not worth doing most of the time. It's genuinely not. It's genuinely not. The risk reward is way too skewed. It's way too skewed. It's way too risky. You have to give me something to warrant the cost of this. It can even be a scaled combo. I don't care. I should be able to hit you. Maybe make the, if you, in this situation, maybe make it so that the parry isn't as like, doesn't have as many active frames. It doesn't have as much. So I have to time it a bit harder. Maybe look a bit harder to use in that situation. But it something with that, man. But yeah, that's about it on parry. But at the very least, it cannot cost bar. And then yeah, don't let it be spammable. If you make the change that it doesn't cost anything anymore, because that's insane. Next, let's talk about the general neutral. Okay. This is a bit more of the way more. I mean, this video is all very opinionated, but this is way more on the opinionated aspect. If you know what I'm saying, it's like this is more optional than anything. In this game, there's way too many full screen options. Assists, projectiles, buttons, lariats, whatever. It's insane. You can't have all these things and then have handshake tag to make a lot of this shit just completely and utterly safe with no consequences and have it all go full screen. That's insane. Something has to change with that. Because then and there's no mobility except for Ari, who can air dash, but you have to avoid all of these grounded projectiles with no mobility. It's insane. Like, I know some people have their, you know, Blitzcrank has like his arm, and Alawi has stuff, and Braum has Unbreakable, but still, it's like having to maneuver around all of that with no consequence and then handshake tag, and it goes full screen. You don't even have to, you barely have to space it. There's no, it's just insane. It shouldn't go full screen. Either that or give everybody air dashes or something so that we can avoid all this shit without without having to worry about you throwing out like Jinx Rocket and then Vi just runs across the entire length of the screen in 2 seconds and you've already lost neutral. You know? It's just, something has to give with that. The neutral in this game is way too crazy, way too many full screen options, way too much safety, but not enough mobility to even give you a chance to outplay any of the stuff happening on the screen. You just kind of have to hold that shit. So my main suggestion is just make a lot of this shit has to range nerfs across the board. This should not go full screen. Zoning, archetypes, assists, projectiles, all this shit. The range needs to be shorter. And that gets into, what else is there? So yeah, I think that's basically for that. And then then we're in this section of the video. We're going to talk about a few character nerfs that I want to see added. And we'll start with my team, Yasuo Echo, because no offense, but you nerf the characters 4 times and then they're still broken. So let's throw this out the way. So let's start with Echo here. And I think, personally, for this character, my opinion, the really messed up thing about this character is, of course, his Kebab OS, Burrito OS tech. It should just not be a thing. And I think, like I said, going back earlier, you don't even need to do anything. If you implement the roll buff that I said earlier, just make the rolls go further, and that OS is completely gone from the game, as it should be. It's no reason for you to be hit, lose half your life bar, or however much, half your life, whatever it is, and then you have to hold this entire OS. It's ridiculous. You should just make the rolls better, and it solves that problem. It solves a lot of the. You shouldn't be having to hold Oki when you lose half your HP. Let's play neutral. Like, come on. Like, let me get out. Let's play the game. Don't make me sit there and block, and then I'm in the corner and I can't push block anything because their assist is still up and they have freestyle. You know what I'm saying? Because Braum did unbreakable assist call or some shit. You know, like, come on. Come on, man. But I think that's really the only thing that's really broken about him. Like, he'll always be strong. But I think I think most people agree that's the thing that's, like, super broken about him. Once that's gone, I think he'll be fine. Like, he'll be good, but he won't feel so broken. You know, he just has so much reward, whether you play him on point or whatever. I don't think his assists need too much changes. They're strong, but, you know, I don't think they're as big a deal anymore. So I think if you just implement what I said, I think he'll be fine. And Yasuo, I actually have legitimate things that aren't related to the system mechanics. So Yasuo, he just has too many options. You gotta tone it down. Here are some suggestions. I would want at least some of these done. I wouldn't say do all of them. I think it'd be too much. But here are some ideas that I think should be done with this character. So let's start here. I think the instant overhead maybe should go. He has like 3 cross-ups. I don't think that he needs the instant overhead. He can combo off a throw. I don't think he needs the instant overhead, man. I don't think he needs it. I think it can just go. You know what I'm saying? Just don't let him have it at all. Second option, he cannot combo off a throw anymore. I almost wanted to put in that no one should combo off a throw in this game, but I'm not so sure about that. But I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. Because I get it, you made throws like it have a lot of recovery in this game. If you actually guess right, you get to get a punish. I get it. So you want to balance out the kind of the risk of the throw by having them do damage, which I can understand. So I'm not as upset about that. But certain characters in this game can't combo off a throw, and I think Yasuo maybe should be one of them. I don't think he needs to be able to do that. Or one of the things I think maybe you could remove from him that'd be better. You know what I'm saying? What else is there? Oh, big one. This just needs to go so far. I think his air S1, his jump S1 needs a range nerf. Being able to do this is insane. It should just not be in the game. Just make it shorter range. So he has to like be like at this range or something to do it. And it's worth doing. But being able to be this far and like do this is insane. Or like this. Like I do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should be able to do that. So I think this jump S1 needs a range nerf. It should mainly just be used again like short range cross up option or combo stuff. It should not be a almost full screen neutral option. I just don't agree with that. Other suggestion, make this cross up not combo. Now, do not do all 4 of these, because then that would be too much. But some of these, the main one I really want is this gone. I want that gone. That should not be in the game. Being able to do this, no, should not be in the game. But like combination of these, maybe 2 at most. 3's pushing it, but if I had to pick, maybe this and the instant overhead, maybe can just go. If I had to choose, maybe those 2. But those are like some options I think that you can nerf Yasuo that would be, you know, he would still be good. He would still be able to do stuff. I think all 4 would be too much, but I don't know. Even with all 4, I think he'd still be really solid. But 3 at most, I feel. And you can do as you like. I really recommend this though, for sure. Top 1. The other 3, decide amongst yourselves. I can't complain about any of those being with any of those. Last one, Ari, and maybe Vi too. They kind of have the same issue, because they're just safe on everything. Almost everything. Everything. Ari's too safe. Ari has too much mobility, too much range, too much too much damage, too much corner carry for how safe she is. Her assists are too good. All that for how much safe she is. She's way too safe. She needs recovery on her. She needs recovery on her air projectiles, because you can straight up parry them and you cannot punish them consistently. Now, if she certain moves, you might be able to punish her with like a projectile invo level 1, maybe, or like a projectile level 1 if you're at the right range. But it's really risky. It's very inconsistent. If she handshake tags and assists, it's kind of a moot point. So she needs recovery. She's way too safe. Way too safe. I don't really care. Mainly on like the air projectiles. Maybe make her normals more easier to whiff punish as well. Her level 1 should not do what it does. No, it should not do that. It cannot be so safe. Be plus on block. She can like go after. Something has to change with that. I just think make it less safe so that you can jump over it and punish her for doing it. Right? I think yeah, just recovery on it. Like even her little what's the move called? Okay, so I'll just pick her real quick. Her when she sets the projectile. I didn't select it. I'm stupid. I don't even know how to do it. This move, she's way too safe on this.
Try this.
Like way too safe on this. Way too safe. You cannot jump this on reaction from like this range.
Try this.
And it covers the entire length of the screen. Not to mention if you just do assist, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just insane. She's too safe. Like you jump it. Every time I try to jump this thing, she always able to 2H me. I think so. I think that needs recovery, and her level 1 needs recovery, and I think her air projectiles need recovery. But she needs recovery on her options. She's safe on everything, even her goddamn sweep on block. Everything. The only thing she's unsafe on is this move. Not that. This is the only move she's unsafe on, and they never do that unless they're confirmed. You know, maybe she shouldn't be able to get combo off that either. Like the fact that she can get combo off this is just insane.
Mine. Mine. Mine.
I don't fuck it up.
Mine. Mine. Mine.
Yeah, it's just. But this needs more recovery, and this needs recovery, and this, and her level 1. So that you can actually like punish her for doing this stuff. As examples, I think all those nerfs would be fine. Vi, same issue. I think her lariat is way too safe on block. It goes that far. I don't know what to do about the puppeting thing where she can just charge it. Like I said, I think maybe it just doesn't go full screen. Like I mentioned earlier, with all the full screen options, it just shouldn't go full screen. It should not go so full screen, in my opinion. So Vi's lariat, like, she just needs like that. She needs to be punishable on whiff more with that. She's way too safe on it. She's way too safe on her I think her Rekka series too. She's really safe. Really safe for what she's able to do. But mainly I'm just mad about the lariat. She's so it's impossible to punish her for blocking it, for whiffing it. It's too hard. It needs recovery, I think. And her Rekka series. But that's about it. I don't really have many complaints about any of the rest of the cast. I think they're generally fine for the most part for how they operate. I think the changes I talked about earlier with the system mechanics, the defensive stuff, would really just help open up the game more with that. And I think the rest of the cast is fine. I don't know, like the general neutral, of course, needs to be addressed, like I said earlier, but I don't think that like specific. I don't think specifically they're doing too much as of right now. As much as characters like Warwick may annoy me with how fast, and maybe Warwick needs a little bit more recovery on his 5M, maybe. But that's about it. And I think I covered everything that I care about, so I'm yeah. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this was informative, and maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Tell me in the comments below, or come join my stream, because I stream. I'll put the link in the description below this video. You can, at me on Twitter or whatever if you want to talk about it. And yeah, all my links will be down there. Like I said, I stream on multiple platforms. Follow me everywhere, join me Discord, all that stuff. And yeah, you guys take it easy. You guys have a good one. And I'll see you guys next time. All right. Peace.